So let's review for the first test. So test 1 review. Again, this is on chapters 1 and 2. Here's the first question. What is the absolute value of negative 4? 4. Very good. Remember, the absolute value. If the number is negative, change it to positive. If it's positive, leave it alone. Question number 2. What's negative 10 plus the 14? 4. The reason is 4, notice the numbers have different signs. Subtract the 10 from the 14. What's 10 from 14? 4. And what's the sign of the larger absolute value here? That's positive. $20 minus a negative 2. Now again, I don't know if you remember the procedure. We change the subtraction to addition. And what do we do with this number? Change it to positive. So it's keep, change, change. Keep, change, and change. 20 plus the 2, which is what? 22. The next question. It says simplify. Five minus 2 minus 8 minus the 4. Again, if you remember, I said if I was doing these, I will change all the subtractions to additions first. Keep the first one. Since I'm changing this, I got to change that number. This becomes what? Negative 2. I'm changing that to a plus. Change this number. This becomes what? Negative 8. And that number becomes a negative 4. Again, when you have a chain of these and you want to add and subtract, probably the quickest way is to take all the positive numbers and make one number out of them. There's only one. Take all the negative numbers, combine them together, make one number out of them. What's 2, 8, and 4? That'll be a 14 with the minus sign. So we took all the positive numbers, we made one number out of it. All the negative numbers, made one number out of it. Now we have two different signs. Subtract the smaller from the larger. 5 from 14. Again, when I say larger, we're talking about absolute value. 5 from 14, which is what? 9. What's the sign of the larger absolute value? Negative. That's a negative 9. Question number 5. Which of the following is false? Here's the first one. Negative 4 is less than 0. Negative 3 is less than negative 1. 8 is bigger than negative 4. Or 3 is greater than 0. Or none of these. Which one is false? Again, there's your number line. the one on the left is always smaller than the one on the right. So let's look at the first one. Is minus 4 less than 0? There's the minus 4 and there's the 0. Is minus 4 less than 0? Yes, that's a true statement, not a false. Is minus 3 less than minus 1?
Yep.
True statement. Is 8 bigger than negative 4? 8 is somewhere here. Negative 4 here. That's a true statement. Is 3 bigger than 0?
Yep.
True statement. So which one's false? None of them. None of them. Six. Divide negative 24 divided by 2. A negative divided by positive is always what? Negative. 24 by 2? 12. Find the reciprocal of 17 over 8. Yep, 8 over 17. The reciprocal, flip them. 1 over that, which is flip it. Question number 8. Simplify. 2 parentheses x minus 1 plus 3x. Distribute that. 2x minus what? 2 plus 3x. Can we collect like terms? What's 2x and 3x? Can I combine the 5x minus 2? No. Let's look at 9. Negative 2 parentheses negative x plus 1. Remove parentheses.
Distribute negative 2.
Distribute the minus 2. Okay. That will make it what?
Positive 2.
Positive 2x
2x minus 2.
minus 2. Very good. Combine like terms. 5xy minus 3x plus 8xy.
5xy and 8xy.
These are the like terms. Only these two. What's 5 and 8?
13xy.
It's not x squared, y squared? No, we don't touch them. 5 apples plus 3 apples is what? 13 apples. The unit didn't change. So this does not change to x squared y because, well, x and x, no. It stays the same. You're adding same type. You have a box. One has 5 donuts. We'll say honeydew donuts. The other one has 8 honeydew donuts. When you put them together, you still have 13 honeydew donuts. What do you mean combining just variables?
Just letters.
You can combine numbers. 7 plus 8. $11. Evaluate. A plus B when A equals 4, B equals -3. A equals 4, B equals -3. Plug it in. Replace A with 4, replace B with -3. What's 4 plus a -3? Different sign, subtract the absolute values. 3 from 4, 1. The sign of the 4 positive, it's +1. -x plus 4 equals -13. That's an equation. Remember with the equation, your goal, all the x's on one side, all the numbers on the opposite side. So I can either subtract the 4 from both sides or move it to that side and use change side, change sign. It's the same thing. So you have -x equals what? -17. Now I need to solve for x, not a -x. Remember, there's a 1. We just don't put it here. So how do you turn that -1x to x?
Divided by 1x.
Divided by,
1x.
not 1x, -1. X will equal what?
Positive 17.
+17. Now we're going to be in chapter 2. So all of these we did were chapter 1. Let's look at chapter 2 here. That's question 13. X over 2 minus x over 4 equals to 1. Again, I'm not a huge fan of fractions. So what I'm going to do first, get rid of all the fractions. How? What is it? Oh, find the LCD. Okay, which is what? 4 is good. So what are you going to do with the 4? I'm going to multiply every one of them by 4. Every one of them. Fraction or not. The 4 is 4 over 1, actually. That's 4 times x is 4x over 2. What's 4x over 2? Can you simplify 4 and 2? That's 2x. Again, that's 4 times x is 4x over 4. What's 4 over 4? 1. That's 1x. 4 times 1, which is 4. What's 2x minus 1x? X equals to 4. So multiply by the LCD to get rid of all the fractions. There's always a 1 here, we just didn't put it. So if you want to leave the numbers separate, 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 2. 4 over 2, that's where the 2x comes in. There's a 1 here. 4 times 1 is 1. 4 times 1 is 4, over 4, that's a 1. Solve for m. -3, m plus 2 is equal to 10. Yep, distribute the -3. -3m minus 6 equals what? 10. Yep, change side, change sign. I like that. Take the -6 there. So you can put all the numbers on one side. It's 10 plus 6. What's 10 plus 6?
16.
And I don't want to solve for negative 3m. I want to solve for 1m
Divide
by
by negative 3.
negative 3. So m equals, and I always like to put the minus in the front when I write this. 16 over 3. Or negative 16 over 3 on the top. We'll never put it on the bottom. We just don't like to see it in the bottom. So it's either the top or the front. Negative 16 over 3. You can make it 5 and 1/3 if that's what you're thinking. But you can't really simplify it. Negative 5 times y minus 3 equals 2 times 4 plus y.
Distribute negative 5 here.
Yep. Negative 5y
Plus 15.
plus 15 equals 8 plus 2y. All the y's on one side, all the numbers on the opposite side. So let me take the plus 2y to this side, the plus 15 to that side. This will be negative 5y. That 2y comes in, becomes negative 2y. Change side, change sign. Equals 8. Change side, change sign, negative 15. What's negative 5y minus 2y?
Negative 7y.
8 minus 15?
9.
About 7.
Right.
Yep, the other 9. So now to solve for x,
Divide by negative 7.
or solve for y, not x. Y equals to 1. If 10 is added to 3 times a number, the result is 31. That's what the problem. Does anyone in this room know what the number as of now? No. The number is x. I don't know why I underlined times. So what is 3 times a number?
3 plus 10 plus 3x.
Yep, this 3 times a number becomes what? 3x.
31.
Added means plus. And there's a 10. So 10 plus
3x.
3x. The result is always equal to 31. Take the 10 to the right side, becomes a negative 10. 3x equals what? 31 minus 10 is 21. And to solve for x, we're going to divide both sides by what?
3.
3. X equals to 7. Number 17. The population of Chicopee, Mass, decreased 20% to 48,000. And the question, find the original population. Find the original population. Now, the original population is unknown to us. We'll call it X. If the population of Chicopee decreased by 20%, so what percent of this group still lives in Chicopee?
40.
How much?
80.
80. If you decrease by 20%, that means still 80% of the people still live in Chicopee. So 80% of the population, the original population, is still living in Chicopee, which is equal to how many people now? 48,000. We decrease by 20%, that means 80% still live in there. Well, 80% is 0.8 or 0.80. Of means times. This is X equals 48,000. So to solve for X, what are we going to do? Divide by 0.8. Divide by 0.8. Let's see what that number is. Is that 60,000? 48,000 divided by 0.8, 60,000 people. So originally we had 60,000 people living in Chicopee. Now we down to 48.
Is that true?
No. Made up. Number 18. 3 more questions. X is greater than or equal to minus 1. Which graph is correct? Before you say this is the one or that's the one, let me draw them all. Which one is the correct answer?
First one?
Why the first one? Why not the last one? They look like the same.
Because the dots filled in.
And if the dot filled in, that means what?
-1 is included.
Yep, you have an equal sign here. So if there's an equal sign, better be a closed circle. If there is no equal sign, better be an open circle. So that is the correct one. This will be less than. To the left means less, to the right means greater than. Again, open circle versus closed circle. If the question was X is greater than minus 1 without the equal sign, that will be the answer. So this is really X is greater than minus 1, not greater than or equal to. This is X is less than or equal to minus 1 because the dot is filled in. This is X is less than negative 1. And that one is X is greater than or equal to negative 1. And now the last 2 sections we covered, I have 2 questions from them. Number 19, I have 4x minus 12 is greater than negative 36. Move the minus 12 to the right side, just like solving equations. Change side, change sign. 4x is greater than what? Negative 36 plus 12. What's negative 36 plus 12? Is it negative 24? And to solve for x, what are we going to do? Divide by 4. X is greater than, I'm not changing the sign, negative 6. And that's the answer they're looking for. If you were to graph that, you go, there's the minus 6, open to the right. If you were to use the new notation, there's the negative 6, parentheses. Parentheses means not included, to the right, all the way to infinity. If you were to write the answer in interval notation, from where to where? From negative 6 to where? To infinity. Infinity is not included. Is the 6 included?
No.
So this, or that, they're all good. That's the one they were looking for, actually. They don't want to graph it even. And the last question, we have this one. And this is solve for b. Again, as I said before, I'm not a fan of fractions. My first step, let's multiply everything by 3 to get rid of the fractions. This cancels that. A plus b equals, what's 3 times 2x?
6x.
I'm looking for b, so I want all the terms that have b in them on one side, everything else on the opposite side. That means the a is on the wrong side. I got to bring it to that side. What's left here? Plus b. I don't have to put the plus. And that becomes what? 6x minus a. And that's my answer.